It's hard to begin this video because it's hard for me to find the words to convey how deeply sickened I am by the callous disregard for human life that surrounds me. I live in Japan and I have lived in Korea, and both of these countries have very high suicide rates, shockingly high, for various reasons. There's a lot of cultural baggage with it. The idea that if you have a mental illness, you are not strong enough, you are not connected enough with your family, that the reason you feel that way is because you are not properly connected with your network, your social network, or that you just aren't trying hard enough. I was talking to a friend and he said, well, maybe people would be able to get help if it were covered by national health insurance. It is. Quite a lot. I benefit hugely from it. I am under national health insurance. I'm a foreigner under national health insurance. And the same year that I arrived, within months of arriving, despite never having paid residence tax in this country before, I was able to get a certification that said that I am my only source of income and that my care is a financial burden to me. As a result of getting this certificate, my costs are 100% covered by the government. Every doctor visit that I see to my psychiatrist is covered. Every test I will ever have as a result of needing this care is 100% covered. All of my medication is 100% covered. And the certificate lasts for 2 years and is renewable forever. It is covered. It is absolutely covered. But no one knows that because no one thinks to ask and no one thinks to tell. The start of the new school year, tax year, work year is the beginning of April. And there's a big spike in suicides. Suicides in Japan, suicides in the US are different from here. Suicides here tend to be much more public. People hang themselves, or people jump off of things, or jump in front of things. Train suicides are a big thing and a big problem, and there hasn't really been any good motions made towards addressing these problems. And I think part of that comes from the desensitization and the callousness that people have developed in regard to this. I see people constantly who complain about how annoyed they were to be delayed on their morning commute for 10-15 minutes because someone jumped on a train in front of a train a few stops ahead of them. And that this means so little to them that instead of thinking, oh my God, a man died, they think, damn it, I'm going to be 10 minutes late to work. That's disgusting. There is no excuse for that. Human life is worth more than that. And if you can't see that, I can't help you. There was someone that I know today posted on Facebook that someone had broken into her school on Sunday morning and hanged himself in their art room, their art classroom. Knowing that, all I can think is that he must have had some connection to the school. Maybe that art room was the last place he felt safe. Maybe that room was the last place he remembered being happy. maybe that school was what drove him over the edge. There's a lot we don't know. She finished her post with, "What the fuck is wrong with people?" A lot. There's a lot wrong with us. And blaming us is not the solution. And it is not helpful. And it is nothing but hurtful and disrespectful and irresponsible. A person who kills themselves doesn't feel anything anymore. It's not something you just suddenly decide to do. It's not something you do out of spite. It's something that happens because you don't believe you are capable of living anymore. Being alive just isn't worth it anymore. And having someone tell you that your death would be nothing more than a brief annoyance for them, that's horrible. That's horrifying. Someone else told me that a student at his school last year killed himself. A high school student. And that he was disturbed by it. And the ALT was disturbed by it. They both knew the boy. And that his parents asked that his classmates be told that he died from an illness, not that he killed himself. And that there were indications from where he sat on his desk that he had been suffering for quite some time. But because no one talks about it here until it's over, he never got help. He could have been saved. You can't expect the problem to go away if you can't talk about the problem. And there is a problem. There's a huge problem. If you make a teenager believe that the way they are feeling is the way that no one else has ever felt, and that there is something wrong with them, and that they will always feel that way because there is something wrong with them, that's as good as validating the thought that they're better off dead. You can't expect reason. You can't expect rationality from someone who doesn't feel like they're in this world anymore. It's so easy to say, "Oh, but they just weren't thinking of their parents, how their parents would feel." It's not that they're not thinking, it's that they can't. They can't think anymore. That's the poison. When you get so far down that you don't just feel bad, you don't feel. You're not human. You're not interacting with the world. You're not having any meaningful interactions with other people because you're not there. You don't feel like you're there because you don't feel. And telling someone that it's their fault just makes it worse. So don't tell me that you are mildly inconvenienced by the death of a human being. Don't you dare, ever, for a second, hear that someone has killed themselves and to think, what the fuck is wrong with people? That's despicable, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You should take a good, hard look in the fucking mirror and remember that these are human beings and that every single life is valuable. Stop being part of the problem. You can't help anyone if all you can do is blame them for something that's not their fault and something that will kill them if you push them too far. Stop. It's too much. And if we don't start changing that now, it's gonna be too late. We have a chance here. Japan is getting globalized. They're getting westernized. We have an opportunity here to talk about these things and make these things important and known. This is a chance that doesn't come very often, so don't waste it. Don't stop caring about people. And don't let yourself get complacent. Because someday, it could be someone you love. And without a doubt, that person that you're thinking just messed up your commute, someone loved them. Every life is a loss and should be felt as a loss. Period. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this attitude. I'm done with these people. It's disgusting and it has to stop.